Is this thing on? What's happening? Oh, I'm just kidding. How are you? How is everybody? We have missed you so much. This is DID Hatchery. I have dissociative identity disorder, and I like to tell people about my life with it. So how is everybody? I know it's been a long time. If you don't know what's been going on, we recently moved. Also, this is like the third time I'm trying to make this video. I'm anxious. I might breathe and shake and be very scattered because I don't know why, I'm just anxious. And so I wanted to do sort of like an update / story time. I'm not sure of what, just saying hi, we're back, plans we have for the channel. So I'll start with the story. We moved. And it's a very good thing because prior to living here in this new apartment, I was living in an extremely triggering situation. I don't know if I expressed it very much on the channel, how distressing the last 2 years have been. I do not necessarily tell the internet everything. And so I probably didn't mention it very often, but I did make a video a few months back on fawning right here. And if you watch the video, you'll see clips like this. You don't fawn to your favorite person. You fawn to threats. So anytime I'm around the person I fawn to, I'm always in fight or flight. I'm extremely hypervigilant. Internally, I'm constantly dying. And clips like this. Impossible. I will literally do anything for the person I fawn to. It doesn't matter if let's say I had COVID, I thought I was gonna die and I felt terrible emotionally. I thought I was gonna have a nervous breakdown. If that person asked me to run 10 miles at 3 a.m., I would do it with a smile on my face. So that was my way of sort of illustrating what was going on at the time. I was basically living for 2 years in fight or flight in a fawning state the whole time. I remember I went to my therapist and I told him that I did not believe in exposure therapy because this exposure was not diminishing anything, right? It was not diminishing anything. And then he's just sort of laughed at me and he's like, Brandy, that is not how exposure therapy works. You have to actually be doing therapy at the time, like about this particular thing to get the exposure therapy to work. So in the 2 years that I lived where I lived, my fight or flight response has never diminished. I didn't sleep very much. I was constantly anxious. I had to be at the beck and call of another person, basically, for the last 2 years. At any moment, I could not say no. It was part of my trauma response. I literally was unable to say no. And so I just did everything. And so the last 2 years was so difficult to maintain. I'm surprised I got through it. I'm surprised I'm here in an apartment. Literally, if anything good ever happens to me, I'm super surprised. The other day, I followed a very simple recipe for a meal. It came out like the recipe said, and I was like, oh my God, it works. Like, that's my life. When something even minor happens that's remotely good, I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. When you make mac and cheese, the way the mac and cheese box tells you to, it tastes like mac and cheese. Like, that's my whole life right there. But anyway, so now I'm free. Now I'm in this new apartment. I love being in this apartment, but let's talk about the difficulties of moving and stuff like that when you have DID. Okay, because just because I'm excited about it doesn't mean other parts of me are. Some parts don't even know we've moved yet. And so they're interpreting our excitement as stress, and they're making me stressed out. And then I have other parts that are younger that are scared. They think it's the big bad world and now we all have to take care of ourselves and we have to be the adult because we are the adult, although they are not the adults, you know? But then there are so many other parts that are just so excited. We're thinking of all the things creatively we can do, like will be this room. This room is going to be a huge art project that I will film along the way. It's going to have murals that we will paint. It's going to be a room for our littles and a room for writing, because I have a theory that if I can create the ultimate safe space for my child alters, then I will be freed up to write again. Like, that's the goal, because I have a lot of plans writing wise. And so I'm just excited to be back. I'm nervous. If you can't tell, I've gained a lot of weight, apparently. You know, I'm not here all the time. Sometimes I'm gone for months, whoever I am. Don't ask me, because half the time, none of us know who's out, except unless it's a very obvious alter that we're co-conscious with. But I was gone for months. I came back and we were super fat. So there's another thing we have to deal with. Like, now I have to start eating healthy, trying to get my body healthy again. Because that's another difficult thing you deal with when you have dissociative identity disorder. I have alters that think that getting heavy is the way to protect us, because we're only 5 feet tall. We were always the smallest on our sports teams, always the smallest in everything. And trauma made us want to get bigger. And so we literally have alters that will, if we lose too much weight, we'll just start eating out of anxiety, because they think we're going to get too small and then people will harm, you know, whatever. And so I've got to do that. But I'm going to have so many videos. It's going to be different, you know. It's not just going to be me and my face in front of the camera, though it may seem that way right now because I'm like, my face is in front of the camera. But, you know, mind you, I don't like what my body looks like. That's part of the reason that I have trouble filming all of me. I don't like what I look like, for good reason, and the goal is to get healthy. So I'm going to try to overcome those fears. By filming things, by doing things in a more documentary style sometimes. Like, I have a whole film planned about what my experience trying to unbox things in this house has been like. It's literally been a nightmare, because if you really think about it, if you really think about unpacking, what is something about unpacking that could be really upsetting to a traumatized person? You literally have to go through every memory, okay? Like, do you know how many triggers could be in there? Do you know, like, it's, so we have managed to just procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate and get like a box or 2 a day, which is not enough. Even though my therapist, he's like, just do a box a day, eventually it'll get done. No, never gonna get done. I'm gonna live in the land of boxes for the rest of my life. But, I'm working on it. Things are difficult when you're traumatized. You can't do normal things that easily, because other parts of you are scared of it. And so I'll try to open a box, get overwhelmed, a child alter comes out, time passes, boxes don't get done. And this is something I'm working on currently in therapy. I have a lot of stuff to work on. It's been a long road. I'm just glad to be in my own place again. I'm glad to be back. I'm like, I don't know what else to say in this video. I don't know what else to say. I just wanted to say hi. I wanted to say we're back. Obviously, this isn't like the typical Brandy. You might see new alters. They might not have names. You might just have to identify them yourself by our different mannerisms. So I'm sorry about that, because, you know, we don't know everything. We don't know everything. And so we're gonna make more videos. We're gonna make more videos, and hopefully I get better at this. But if I don't, I don't. And you'll see other alters who are bad at videos in the future probably, and then some who are just really good at it. I don't know. But we definitely missed you, and so glad to see you. And we're gonna have more interesting content in the future. And love you. Thank you for being here.